So hopefully everybody is ready because I'm going to get us going.
Okay.
So I will call to order the August 19th, 2020 Local Agency Formation Commission meeting at 2:30 p.m. We are meeting via teleconference pursuant to the various orders issued by the San Mateo County Health Officer and the Governor's Office, which discourage large public gatherings. Board chambers LAFCo uses for meetings is currently not open to the public for meetings. We are meeting via Zoom. At this point, the clerk will explain how both written comments and spoken public comments can be made by attendees of the meeting.
Thank you, Chair. For those attending the meeting on the Zoom video conference, we will use the raise hand feature in order to organize any public comments. During the general public comment period and for each item on the regular agenda, I will ask those members of the public who wish to comment to click the raise hand feature to speak on that agenda item. For those joining by phone, please press *9 to indicate your desire to speak. When you hear your name called, I will prompt you to unmute your account and inform you that you may begin speaking. Please note that members of the public must wait for my prompt in connection with each agenda item before using the raise hand function. For example, you cannot raise your hand at the beginning of the meeting for an agenda item that is later in the meeting. If any written comments were submitted, they will be read by me during each agenda item. And we do ask all of our members to please mute your microphone unless speaking. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. So let's move on to item number 1, which is a roll call. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Draper.
Here.
Commissioner Garbarino.
Here.
Commissioner Horsley.
Present.
Commissioner Lohman.
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Here.
Vice Chair Slocum.
Here.
Chair Cosgrove.
Here.
Thank you. And also present is staff, Executive Officer Marta Payatos, Management Analyst Rob Bartoli, Legal Counsel Tim Fox, Commission Clerk Angela Montes, and we are getting support from Janice Lujan. And for the public to reflect that alternate commission members Katie Martin, Jim O'Neill, and Harvey Rarbach are also present.
All right, thank you. We have a full house this afternoon. I'd like to also welcome Tim Fox to our meeting. This is his first one here. Rebecca Archer, who was our legal counsel for quite a while, as far back as I can remember. Martha, do you know how long she was legal counsel?
I'm thinking about 8 years.
Wow, that's a long time. She has been assigned to the San Mateo Medical Center. And so wish her the best. And just ask everybody to welcome Tim Fox. So a little bit about Tim. He became a deputy counsel in 2004 after 7 years in private litigation practice with a focus on class actions. Since joining the county counsel's office, he has represented and advised dozens of school districts and several county departments, including the Department of Planning and Building, the county's Planning Commission, and the County Committee on School District Organization, which performs functions similar to LAFCo on behalf of school districts. So I have to thank Martha for putting that together for me. I haven't been following your career, Tim, so that didn't come off the top of my head. But again, you know, we welcome you and then wish the best for Rebecca. You've got some very big shoes to fill. She did a great job for us. Does I'll open it. Any commissioners wish to say anything?
Welcome. This is Ann. Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So let's move on to item number 2 now, which is Clerk Montes, will you now please read the items on the consent agenda?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Item A, approval of action minutes, July 15, 2020. Item B, LAFCo file number 20-05, proposed outside service agreement for water by the City of Redwood City to a new single-family home. LAFCo file number 20-06, proposed annexation of 17 Redberry Ridge, Portola Valley to on-site wastewater disposal zone of the West Bay Sanitary District.
Okay, thank you very much. So are there any commissioners that wish to ask any questions or do you have any comments or concerns? Wish to pull any items from the consent agenda? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
I would so move. Second.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Garbarino and a second, I believe, by Commissioner Horsley.
Yes.
Okay, and we will now proceed with the roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Garbarino,
Yes.
Commissioner Horsley,
Yes.
Commissioner Loman,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill, Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Vice Chair Slocum,
Yes.
Chair Cosgrove.
Yes, so that the consent agenda passes unanimously. So let's move on to item number 3. This is public comment for items not on the agenda. Our clerk will read any written comments and allow the public to speak.
Thank you, Chair. So for item 3, we did not receive any written comments. For anybody of the public that wish to speak, you may press the raise hand feature or *9 if you're joining by phone. But Chair, we do not have any hands raised.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So with that, we'll move on to item number 4, which was consideration revisions to the adopted 2020-2021 LAFCo budget, but staff has requested that we continue this to our September 16th, 2020 LAFCo meeting. So I will move on to item number 5, which is legislative and policy committee information, legislative report. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Chair. As mentioned in the legislative report, LAFCo is currently tracking 11 bills. On July 31st, 2020, the Policy and Legislative Committee met to discuss a proposed opposed comment letter for SB 414. The bill would allow the State Water Resources Control Board to form, dissolve, or consolidate failing water systems that have either less than 3,000 connections or serve less than 10,000 residents. Senator Carrillo, the bill's author, is proposing amendments that would remove authority from LAFCO to dissolve public water suppliers as part of the formation of these new water authorities and place the responsibility solely with the State Water Resources Control Board. LAFCO submitted an opposed letter outlining a number of concerns that LAFCO has regarding the bill and specifically regarding LAFCO's authority and the fiscal impacts to LAFCO. LAFCO also requested comment letters from member LAFCO agencies that be sent to the Senator and to the Assembly Appropriations Committee, where the bill is currently being held in the suspense folder by August 14th, prior to the deadline of the publication of our agenda packet. So in order to have the comment letter meet that deadline, we worked with the Policy and Legislative Committee on draft versions of the letter. The committee provided valuable feedback, specifically pertaining to highlighting specific issues of the bill that would impact San Mateo LAFCO, and that letter is attached to the legislative report. We highlighted specifically the issues around plans for services and how that would impact, say, issues like in CSA 11 and other local considerations where we think LAFCO authority and review for the dissolving of these districts would be well warranted instead of having that authority move to the state. As an update to this, LAFCO has mentioned that the bill will be out of the suspense tomorrow and heard by the Appropriations Committee at a hearing. The sponsor has understood and incorporated some changes that LAFCO and other LAFCO agencies have brought to their attention, but it still has LAFCO out of the decision-making process. So we will wait to hear if the bill moves out of suspense tomorrow at the appropriations hearing, and then we will update you where the status of the bill is in September. And I will turn it over to, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them about the legislative report and SB 414 And if not, Martha has comments on the Plan Bay Area letter.
I just have one question, Rob. Does anybody, what's the intent of the authors? I mean, I understand what he's getting at, but what is the beliefs that the State Water Resources Control Board would do a better job? Or is it just an opposition to dissolving some of the smaller districts, or what?
I think this is similar to, it's a very good question. It's similar to many bills that we've seen in the past couple of years that have come from the state, where they have seen in their minds that the State Water Resources Board is better able to perform, or more quickly able to perform, a lot of these functions regarding failing water systems or small water systems. And again, a lot of this comes from water systems that are in the Central Valley, or water quality issues that are in the Central Valley that are trying to be addressed. They feel that the state can do it better. And I think that in our comment letter and Cal LAFCo's comment letter, we disagree with that, where LAFCo is better understanding of the local conditions of, we have a process in place about how to create districts, how to dissolve districts already. They don't need duplication at the state level to do that. They already have the tool that the legislature created in LAFCo to do these functions. But I think a lot of it is just, they feel, certain legislators feel that there is just a better way to do it at the state level. And we would disagree with that.
Thanks.
Josh?
Commissioner Lohman, go ahead.
Just quick comment. With those parameters, which is, one of the options is anything less than 10,000 residents. That could literally include water districts right here on the coast. So we have less than 10,000 people, but we don't feel like we need or should be merged with anybody out here. So.
And if there's no further comments on the legislative report, I will turn it over to Martha.
Let me do this real quick before we turn it over to 5B. Angela, do we have any written comments, or Janeth, do we have any public comments on this item?
Thank you, Chair. So we did not receive any written comments for item 5A. And just as a reminder for our public, you may press *9 if you're joining by phone, or the raise hand feature to indicate your desire to speak. But Chair, we do not have any hands raised for item 5A.
All right, thank you. With that then, yes, let's move on to item 5B. Martha?
Yes, thank you. The Commission received a copy of our August 7th letter to the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, in which we commented on the Plan Bay Area 2050 blueprint strategies. That draft letter was, because of the deadline, was also reviewed by the Legislative and Policy Committee, and edits were made based on the committee's input. Plan Bay Area 2050 is a long-range regional plan for the 9 Bay Area counties that focuses on 4 key issues: the economy, the environment, housing, and transportation. And it's intended to identify a path to make the Bay Area more equitable for all residents, and also more resilient in the face of climate change and sea level rise. The draft blueprint is the first formal draft of Plan Bay Area, and it targets improving affordability for all, expanding housing opportunities, focusing growth in walkable spaces, saving lives and protecting communities through both traffic and roadway improvements, and also new resilient infrastructure to protect housing units at risk of inundation from sea level rise, and also economic growth. The LAFCo related comments we submitted addressed incentivizing annexation of unincorporated areas to cities, and reminding MTC and also ABAG that special districts, in particular sewer, water, and fire districts, should be included in the planning process to assure service level and capacity will be adequate to meet the needs identified in the final plan. And this is something that has happened in other planning operations by these entities, that they really focus on the land use agencies, counties and cities, and don't give really enough credence, I think, to the special districts that are integral in planning for the growth that they're proposing. And in this case, the proposed growth in terms of investment on housing is 400,000 new affordable homes. So staff's going to continue to participate and work with MTC and ABAG on this process. And this is provided for information only, and we can answer questions if you have them.
Thank you, Martha. First, let me see if we have any public comment for item 5B.
Thank you, Chair. For item 5B, we did not receive any written comments, and we do not have any hands raised for the item.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I'll do now is I'm gonna go through each of the commission members to see if you have any questions, give you an opportunity to ask questions or make comments, and I'm gonna go through alphabetically. So this is for item 5A or B. Well, I'll just leave it open. So Commissioner Draper,
No comment.
thank you. Commissioner Garbarino,
No comments, thank you.
all right. Commissioner Horsley,
I don't have any comments either.
thank you. Commissioner Lohman,
No further comments.
all right. Commissioner O'Neill,
No comments.
Vice Chair Slocum,
Nothing further, thank you.
all right, thank you. I don't have any comments either. This is an information item, so we've accepted the reports. Thank you for both the staff reports. And we will move on to item number 6, which is LAFCo nominations for 2020, 2021 LAFCo Board of Directors. Martha, go ahead.
Thank you. This is just briefly, this was placed on your July agenda. And it's the opportunity for the commissioners that are either county or district members to consider running for office on the LAFCo Board of Directors for the coastal region. The deadline to submit the nomination is September 22nd. So this actually, if there is one of the members that's considering wanting to run, then there's still opportunity in September at the September 16th meeting to be nominated.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any public comment on this item?
We did not receive any written comments for item 6, and there are no hands raised.
And I was looking for a bunch of members of the public to push LAFCO, San Mateo County LAFCO, to run for LAFCO. Oh, well. Let me again go through the commissioners to see if we have any comments or questions alphabetically. Commissioner Draper,
No comments or questions. Thanks.
thank you. Commissioner Garbarino,
I'm good, thank you.
all right. Commissioner Horsley,
No comments.
Commissioner Lohman,
No comments.
Commissioner O'Neill,
No comments.
Vice Chair Slocum.
Nothing further, thank you.
All right, thank you. And I don't have any either. So we will move on to item 7, which is commissioner and staff reports. Are there any reports from the commissioners? We go through alphabetically again. Commissioner Draper.
None from me. Thanks.
All right. Commissioner Garbarino.
Nothing to report.
Commissioner Horsley.
Just give me a quick overview of what's happened with the fire. And, Warren has already heard this, but I think it's about 10,000 acres, and we estimate there's about a potential loss of $1 billion in timber assets. Although on a personal basis, I think for redwood forest, fires started by lightning probably are not a long-term problem for them. But we've got something in the neighborhood about 500 firefighters. We are not getting assistance from outside of the county, mostly because of the fact that there are fires all over the state of California. They're just, resources are pretty stretched pretty thin. We have evacuated some of the communities, like one is Bronca Knolls. And some of the, we shut down all of our parks, Memorial Park, Sam McDonald Park, Pescadero Creek Park. I think the fire on its northeastern edge has hit Creek Park, and that is of concern. There's a lot of underbrush, or what firefighters call ladder fuel. So that's a concern. It is going southeast. There are, like I said, it's about 1,000 people that have been evacuated, and they're all being directed to Pescadero High School. But we can't have 1,000 people with this COVID-19, so we are just triaging people at local hotels on the coast side. Fortunately, most of them are empty. There have been no injuries. Firefighters are now, instead of working a 24-hour shift, are now working 48 hours straight. That doesn't mean that they don't have rest periods or periods to breaks. They do, but we can't release them to go someplace else. So that's why we're keeping them for 48-hour shifts. And I can't say enough about CAL FIRE. They've done a really great job of coordinating. Sheriff's Department's working pretty effectively with them, as well as our Parks Department, and of course the American Red Cross. So it's there's no loss of life so far, and as far as we know, no injuries. I think a couple of firefighters had what I believe to be minor injuries, but other than that, so far it's just it's essentially a forest fire caused by lightning. And there were 3 of them, and they look like they're all linking together to make a more massive one. And we are hoping, the weather is awful. On the other hand, we fortunately don't have a lot of wind, which is so that's the one and only thing that's working in our favor. But you're gonna see a lot of smoke. That's not gonna be very safe to do, outdoor exercise. And it's gonna take a while before these are put out. They're not gonna be put out in 24 hours. They're not even 48 hours. So it's gonna be around for a few weeks.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that report. Commissioner Lohman?
Yeah, just a quick comment. Last week when we had because of the virus, our chapter meeting for all the special districts haven't been held. We had our first one. And I thought it actually went even better because we got better attendance with the Zoom. And we had reps from Sacramento down here also. So it was a great meeting.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner O'Neill?
No comments.
All right. Vice Chair Slocum?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right. I don't have anything. Do we have anything further from staff?
Yes, through the chair, I wanted to let you know that we're continuing to work remotely, except for I do come into the office in the afternoons just because I get mail and do business like that. And also I'm continuing to work on filling on the special district selection committee process. We have conducted the process to get our nominations. I have not received the authorization to send the ballots by email from all the districts, so I'm waiting for that. And that will be the next step, is to send the ballots out. And we'll report back on that in September. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything further before we move on to item 8, which is our adjournment? All right, I will adjourn our meeting at 2:53, and we will next meet September 16th, 2020. Thank you all very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.